Personal trainers are just bullies in disguise, or at least that's what Ben Carpenter thinks, and I'm inclined to agree with him. And I think we've seen a cultural shift over the last couple of years, maybe since around like 2017, where people have felt okay being mean to people as a source of motivation. I will get into that a bit more because I have a theory of where it started. So this is a reaction to a video from somebody that has had a real life experience.
2.5 years ago, I was in amazing shape. And then I started getting more out of shape, and I went back to my gym and I'd gained like 20 or 30 pounds. And the gym owner, who was also my trainer, was like, dude, what are you doing? And I know that he's just trying to be like motivating and like be the friend that says you need to fix yourself, but like I was super embarrassed.
Yeah,
and then
that sort of motivation doesn't work.
And then I went back and he did it again, and then I never went back to the gym.
I feel so sorry for this guy. It's never okay to comment on someone's body and insinuate that they need to fix themselves because they've got out of shape. Because let's be honest, the shape that we're supposed to be in within the fitness industry is a beauty standard. It actually has nothing to do with fitness at all. You can be in a larger body and still be fit. And the imagery that we see that we think represents fitness is mostly fitness influencers, fitness models and bodybuilders that have got down to an extreme level of body fat and grown a lot of muscle. And then we see this image like everywhere, in all the marketing, in all the clothing brands, all over social media, and we think that is what it is to be fit. That's what you must look like. A lot of the fitness industry is just very aesthetic focused and doesn't really care that much about fitness, and this is very clear in this criticism that he received, because that gym owner clearly wants him to look a certain way, whereas loads of people go to the gym for mental health, for physical health, to back squat the most weight they possibly can, or to PB their 10k row time, or to run really far on a treadmill. There are loads of reasons we go to the gym that have nothing to do with aesthetics. So the fact that a gym owner would treat somebody that gained 30 pounds, which is really not that much, so badly is ridiculous.
A subset of fitness professionals are closet bullies. Judgmental that look down on you if you don't look a certain way or you don't love going to the gym as much as they do. I have seen numerous videos this month from personal trainers literally saying shit like, if you are fat, you need to stop being a lazy piece of shit.
I'm trying to really hold back on where I feel like this has stemmed from, but because I've decided I'm making this video, of course I've been getting clips and I've been watching it, and it's the things that they come out with are very similar to a very specific personal trainer that was out in the public eye in the early like 2017s that was saying this kind of thing. And I think that's what started the trend. That's what it seems like anyway. Ben's right, there is so many people saying this on Instagram and TikTok, and it is not helpful, and it is gross to body shame people. It's never okay.
But even as a lean personal trainer myself, those videos make me feel gross. They aren't motivational. They make me feel like those trainers' gyms are not friendly places to visit. Even though I know my body fat percentage is low enough to meet the acceptance criteria into their metaphorical wanky members club.
Yeah, and that's such a good point. It's like they're creating this kind of members club where only people that fit their certain body type can go. And if people are so comfortable with openly criticising somebody's body or the way they look or being horrible to a fat person, that is not going to be a welcoming and inclusive space. People that are fat, like me, and have the cheek to exist on the internet get constantly body shamed. The thing is, these personal trainers seem to want us to go to the gym, but then as soon as we are in the gym, they're weird with us. We get troll comments online and then comments in person. There are so many examples of this all over the internet. It doesn't make any sense. Plus the fact that the gym is not just for weight loss.
There are a load of super lovely and welcoming fitness professionals. But here are some reminders for that little subset of absolute bags. People who feel self-conscious about their weight are more likely to avoid exercise rather than engage in it. From a weight management perspective specifically, making people feel shit about their weight often nudges them towards eating more food not less. There is also some early tentative research that self-compassion can have a positive effect on eating behaviour, body image, and weight regulation. Too many trainers think that using guilt and shame are the most effective motivational tactics, and they claim to care about your health. But they don't realise that one of the biggest reasons many of you don't want to go to the gym in the first place is because of their shitty attitudes. We need to do better and make gyms more welcoming.
And he highlighted some really good studies there showing that body shaming and being mean to people and making people feel uncomfortable about their weight and uncomfortable in gym environments is not going to make people want to go to the gym or want to lose weight. Weight loss actually isn't for everybody. There are a load of people, me included, that struggle with mental illnesses, I'll put the thing because you know I can't say it, that are related to food. For me, for instance, if I started to pursue weight loss, that would very quickly develop into a really toxic habit that would only end up with me gaining weight. Me attempting to lose weight is very counterproductive and would only mess up my relationship with food in the long term, and then I would gain more weight and become unhealthy in so many different ways. If you listen to the actual facts, there is no case for fat shaming. It is never okay and it's not helpful, and all you do is push people out of the gym. And I do kind of agree with his statement at the start that a lot of personal trainers seem to want to get into this profession, especially lately, maybe some of the younger ones, because they feel like it's okay to outwardly bully people about their appearance. I've seen so many TikToks recently kind of justifying fat shaming, which is so weird and extreme. I don't understand why people care so much about how other people look or exist in the world. Not everybody wants to look like some shredded gym bro. A lot of us just want to have a nice life and be able to run after the dog. It's so weird that everybody thinks that we must want to look a certain way when actually, especially like us millennials, I think we've got far too little time and we're way too tired to be pursuing that kind of thing because we have a hell of a lot more responsibilities than, say, these PT gym bros that are maybe starting out and have a lot of time on their hands. Next, I'm going to look at an example that I came across yesterday. It was sent in to me from somebody that used to be in the CrossFit space. So this guy's called Ryan Fish, I think is how you say it. And I remember him being within the CrossFit space, and I think he had a CrossFit gym, but then he changed it to like a regular gym. And I remember him just outwardly bragging about how much money he got pumped into it. He's got some sort of investor. I listened to a podcast with him on it ages ago. His business mindset was interesting. That's probably the last I heard of him. And in this video, he has a list of things under the title, reasons you can't lose weight. And then he crosses every single one of them out, apart from the top one, which is you eat like a asshole. Like, this guy's supposed to have some level of education, right? It's really easy to work out why people struggle to lose weight. The information is out there. Here is a diagram of loads of reasons why people struggle with weight, and it can be linked with trauma, it can be linked with food instability, and I mean, I have had issues with not having food availability in the past, and that has dramatically affected my relationship with food to the point where I struggle with food hoarding, and it's something that I didn't realise until just this year. I'm also part of the Clean Plate Club, if you've heard of that, where I was made to feel like I had to finish all of my food. So I will eat until I'm over full. I'll ignore my hunger cues and I'll just continue to eat until my plate is completely clean. Even to the point where I would eat until I'm physically uncomfortable and feel sick because I have to finish the food in front of me. And then obviously I've struggled with binge eating and then the opposite behaviour, which is obviously very problematic. And there's a whole load of people that have a really complex relationship with food. There are also people that don't have access to high quality foods. One thing that really shocked me when I went to America is the food landscape is very different. Like here in the UK, it's super easy to eat like whole foods or foods that have like ingredients that are good for you, and food isn't as expensive as it is in the US. When I went to the US, I had a bad reaction to some of the ingredients and some of the things. I've put it down to a food intolerance, which I don't have many of, but I've looked into the ingredient. It was that high fructose corn syrup, and that was the only thing that it could have been. And scientifically, that ingredient is supposed to be safe, and there's loads of stuff that's like debunked all of the controversy around it. However, my body hated it, and that's during the process of me like learning to listen to my body. That has been one of the main things. It was just super eye-opening that how different the choices are over there, and also things taste completely different. They must have completely different ingredients. Everything was a hell of a lot sweeter, which maybe that means everything contains more sugar. It might do, I don't know. But this statement is not true. You are not an asshole or a bad person or anything for eating in any certain way. The way we eat is a combination of our upbringing and different factors that affect us, including our income, the culture that we live in, so many different things. And this is so insensitive and just horrible, really. Imagine the amount of shame that people will feel when they see stuff like that. And that just plays into the studies that Ben brought up, which prove that fat shaming and creating shame around food and the way we eat and the way we train is not helpful, and it's also not conducive to weight loss. But let's get back to where I think this started. Let's go back to like 2017. We're all still using Facebook. Video hasn't really kicked off yet. I don't think TikTok's a thing yet. There is one PT that is rising in fame. And no, I'm not talking about the body coach. I'm of course talking about James Smith, who rose to fame basically by calling people fat. I'm gonna have to bleep out that word, aren't I? Here are some example clips, and I'm sorry that the quality is really bad, because the quality is really bad because it's from 2017 Facebook.
You can eat more, and don't call it cardio, man. Call it taking the stairs and not being a lazy.
You're not fat because you switched body pump for Zumba. You're not fat because you don't do fasted cardio. You're fat because you're inherently lazy and you're eating too much shit for the amount that you move / don't move.
It just makes me super uncomfortable. And I'm not opposed to swearing, but creating shame around stuff, I am. And at the time, I'll admit, I thought it was funny. I was deep in my food-related mental illness, and I thought that that kind of behaviour was okay, and I thought that I needed to be fat-shamed in order to lose weight. I was also deep in the calorie counting, deep in the calorie deficit, as he constantly promoted. And on that topic, here is a video that I find so insensitive.
James, what do you think about calorie counting being obsessive and potentially putting people into a negative headspace? Cough. Calorie counting is a tool. And although it takes time out of your day to count shit, you do the same with money. And if someone was checking their bank account, you wouldn't give them grief over it. Oh, that's a bit obsessive. Ooh, don't want that getting you into a negative headspace. At the end of the day, calorie counting, although not necessary for creating a deficit and fat loss, is helpful. People that count calories do not feel restricted, they feel empowered. Oh, I'm a little bit concerned that that's a bit obsessive. At 150 kilograms, you've got big concerns than that, mate. Soon you'll be concerned about your diabetes, soon I'll be concerned about you clogging up our hospitals. And if you're that worried about getting in a negative headspace over counting your damn calories, you need a therapist, not a diet.
That clip did not age well, and I remember seeing that one and I think I liked it because I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. There's no reason I should be obsessing about calories because I have a history of the things. It's just like thinking about money, and I think I even used that analogy explaining it to other people. Newsflash, James Smith, it was really damaging. I did get obsessed with calories. I spiralled back into my food-related mental illness, got very unwell, my health went down the drain, I lost my period, I damaged my digestive system, and I royally up my relationship with food for a very long time, to the point where up until about 6 months ago, I couldn't live without tracking my calories. I couldn't eat. Like, everything had to be calculated. Even when I was trying to eat at maintenance, I still needed a number. I've had to relearn how to eat intuitively because I was so number focused. I got so obsessed, and it was in a really covert way where I was like, no, this is good for me. This is what they all say. It was a valid concern, and brushing it off like some finance analogy was not helpful. And unfortunately, I think loads of PTs saw how James Smith rose to fame by calling people fat. horrible, basically shaming things about fat people. And many fat people, including myself at the time, probably 2016 more like, felt that we deserved this because that is the way people have always treated fat people. But this seems to have spawned a whole new set of individuals that have been inspired to go into the fitness industry. It seems like a lot of people are saying the same words that he used to say, almost verbatim, in their TikTok videos. They know that it gets views, and it's almost like James Smith kind of created the blueprint. And a lot of the younger PTs are now just following in his footsteps, and it's creating this really toxic and unwelcoming environment for people of all shapes and sizes that just want to go to the gym, because it makes it a really uninclusive space, and it makes it terrifying for so many people to go because people are scared, especially the people that comment on my posts, a lot of them being bodybuilder type bros, and they've all got like their tops off in their little circular pictures, all fat shaming me. And I've started training at a commercial gym recently, and I half expected people to come up to me and say the kind of stuff that I receive online. No wonder people will feel intimidated to go into gyms. And as Ben pointed out, there are plenty of really lovely PTs, and I'm a PT myself, and I know of a lot of other people that are really lovely, really inclusive, really genuine and understanding and supportive. And I think that's a reason why a load of us are getting an influx of clients, because we're creating a safe space for people to feel comfortable and get into the gym and do it in a way that they enjoy, and they're not feeling bullied. No one deserves to be made to feel like this. Everybody deserves a space in the gym. And if you ever have a personal trainer that treats you in this way, just know that you do not deserve this. They're a dick, and find a different one that actually cares about you. You deserve so much better. If you like this video, you might enjoy this one, reacting to my most viral video that got 5.5 million views, health does not equal size. Quite a controversial one, as I'm sure you're aware. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!